One of the biggest lies I see in personal finances is that budgeting for parents is simple. Now, after paying off $43,000 worth of debt in 13 months and building a net worth to multiple six figures, I actually think that budgeting for parents is one of the hardest things that we have to do. I've got two kids under 5 myself, not because parents inherently are just bad with money, but because budgets weren't necessarily built for families, because there's a lot of extra noise and outside factors happening that people without kids maybe don't even realize. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through what most parents have been doing and why that hasn't been working. And it's not the parents' fault, it's the system, because it doesn't work for families. And then I'm going to show you the new process that I've been testing out a lot and it works, and I want to share it with you, and let's dive into it. Guys, real quick, I've opened up some spots in my Wealthy Parent program for busy families looking to get more clarity in their finances, find extra money each month without making more, so that they're able to put more of their hardworking money towards their financial goals and just feel like they're winning with their money. If that sounds interesting, any of that, there's a link below this video to book a call directly with me, and we could start your path to becoming a wealthy parent. I'll see you there. But first, let's think about the average budgeting advice, okay? You turn on any sort of personal finance content or whatever, and they're just instantly going to say like, okay, just cut eating out. Oh, okay, stop the subscriptions, go on rice and beans, spend less. Okay, well, that's great and all, but what happens like if your kid needs braces or wants to do the sport thing, or you got 6 trampoline park birthdays in the same weekend, or summer camp, right? All these things. Parents don't just budget for like bills and regular expenses, they budget for life. There's a lot of unexpected expenses when you have kids. It's incredible. Like, how are these little humans so expensive, right? And the traditional budgets treat kids maybe like a random expense. It's sort of like miscellaneous or whatever. And I think that's backwards. If you have kids, you totally understand that like they're one of the biggest priorities in your life, of course, but that also means they're one of the biggest financial priorities in your life, because not only do we want to set them up to win today, we want to set them up to win 5 years from now, 10 years from now, and we want to make sure that their life is better than our life was when we were kids, right? And growing up. That's like the goal of being a parent. I would say it's like the number one goal. Let me know if you agree down in the comments. So maybe you're familiar with this, maybe you're not, but there's a pretty common budgeting strategy out there. It's called the 50-30-20 budgeting rule. And basically, simply, it just says that 50% of your income should go towards need items. So think the roof over your head, utilities, groceries, etc. 30% should go towards want items, right? So it's like if you're a parent, it's like, okay, all the kids' activities kind of could be a want, Amazon, or all this stuff, right? Financial goals then is the last 20%. There's a couple reasons why this does not work at all for families in order to get ahead. One, it's like, where do you put the kid stuff? Because it's like, what qualifies as a kid need and a kid want, first of all. That's the first thing, and we're going to break that down in a second into the new process that I think works amazing for parents. The second problem is the reason why most parents don't get ahead is because look at how this order is set up. It's like, do the 50-30-20. Great. How do you think parents prioritize this information, the needs, the wants, and the financial goals? They do it in that order because that's how it's set up. 50%, okay, great, yep, I got my roof over my head, we're secure, everything's great. Okay, wants, yeah. And then at the end of the month, what happens is most people just neglect or kick the can down the road for their financial goals. And at the end of the month, most parents just don't even have any extra money. And they're like, crap, I was supposed to put money towards saving or paying off debt or my kid's future education. It's like, I don't have any extra money. Okay, next month, we're going to totally figure this out. And the cycle keeps repeating itself month over month over month because they're prioritizing it in this order. And that's why instead I came up with the 50-25-15-10 rule. And what this is doing is basically like taking the question marks completely out of this for parents, right? So 50% needs, okay, that's still reasonable. Right, let's lock that in, 50%. But now we have a spot for kids because it's like, how do you classify like when kids need pants or when kids need, when they're doing an activity, or I got 2 kids in daycare right now, like that is a massive expense. Like what do you do with that, right? So kids, 25%. And that way they have their own bucket of expenses. A quarter of your pay. So like, let's say you have a partner at home. So there's 2 people making income. That's basically one of your 4 paychecks in the month, for example, right? And if you think about it, like it's probably pretty accurate. Let me know down in the comments. I'd love to hear like just your first thoughts about that. And then of course, because I hate how financial goals was last here. I moved it ahead of wants. So financial goals, 15%, wants, 10%. Now these two, you can definitely be a little flexible with, okay? So if this feels uncomfortable, the wants 10%, then maybe, the way I like to think about it is like the things that we prioritize are the things that occur. So if you feel uncomfortable only having 10% wants, then that's you, but you can shift around the 25% here at the end. This is how I would recommend it personally, and this is what I found really well. Now, ideally, we would want to do more in the financial goals, 20%. So if you're a crazy psychopath and you don't want to have any wants, you could do 5% for wants, right? And then all the rest towards financial goals and your kids and all this other stuff. But the whole idea here is to have security in your life. Okay, the need items, we need food on the table, we need a roof over our head, great. Our kids, we want to make sure that they have all the experiences and things that they need to do, like they're fully clothed, and we don't get calls from schools like, hey, why is little Johnny looking poor today, right? We don't want that. We don't need that. And then the financial goals, okay, we have to put on our oxygen mask, right, first, before we can kind of help our kids. Like, we need to continue our progress as parents, because we need to set ourselves up too in the future so that we can provide better for our kids, right? That's the end goal here. And then, the wants is 10%. So let me know down in the comments, guys, what do you think about this 50, 25, 15, 10 rule? And so if you're a parent and budgeting has always felt impossible, it's definitely not you. It's just the process and the system that you've been using that hasn't been working. So if this video has been any helpful and you're kind of interested in like, hey, how can I make some more progress? Make sure to check out the link below the video for the Wealthy Parent Program. It's just gonna be a quick conversation with you and I to see where you're at, where you wanna go, and then the one thing holding you back from getting there. And I look forward to speaking with you then.